Hey guys, it's Ben Register at Gator I'm here with Justin Igualada, aka Bite Force, aka Walking Billboard for why you shouldn't handle alligators and crocodiles.
That's fair.
And we have a great guest
That's
of people
fair.
here at Gator We got Mr. Crocodile. It's time for him to go in the front pond and make babies. And we have Jared, Oscar, Braxton, Katie, and Pops coming down to help. We don't know how this is going to go, but you guys are going to find out.
See, dudes and dudettes, I don't even have to do an intro. Thanks for that.
Oh,
I appreciate
asshole.
you. Thank you.
You're welcome. That'll be 50 bucks.
See? Look at that. Easiest way to do things is use your friends. All right, let's get started.
Or call them to have them help you.
We're going to get this one.
We're going to have our staff. If you want to follow behind us, that's fine. If you want to be in front of us, I need to make sure one of my keepers keeps you far enough in front of us.
All right, dudes and dudettes, I'm going to try my damnedest here to do a voiceover of this video. Now, fair warning, I've tried this about 3 or 4 times and it's not gone well. I have not learned to speak this morning, but I'm going to do my best. I'm going to leave the sound on in the background too, so you guys can kind of hear what's going on. At the same time, I'm going to explain a few things and try and teach you a little bit about crocodiles and alligators here in Florida. So we're the only place in the world that has both alligators and crocodiles living in the same area. We have the American alligator here, which is going to be spread across the entire state. As a matter of fact, that range goes from the southern tip of Florida straight across to Texas, all the way back across to the southern points of North Carolina, and then all the way back down. The alligators themselves are pretty cold tolerant, and that's the biggest difference we're going to have here when it comes to the habitat and living conditions of the alligator versus the crocodile. Alligator, wide range, you got 2 million plus in the state. The American crocodile that you see here in front of us, this is Mr. Crocodile that we're moving, but the American crocodile is far less in numbers. We're talking about maybe 3,000 to 3,500 left in the wild here in Florida, but their range isn't just Florida either. They can go long trips in the ocean. This is a true saltwater crocodile. It's got salt glands in its mouth, so it's built to inhabit those areas. The color on the crocodile is going to be a little bit different than the alligator because of the areas that it lives in. It's going to be camouflaged better to the lighter colored water, brackish, and salt water. You're going to find these guys all the way in the southern tip of Florida. And now our numbers have been picking up, so they're moving up a little bit too. So we're finding them now in Pompano, moving northern of the state, but it's a rare sight to see. Hold on 1 second here. Yeah, we got a little shamu action going on there. So as I plan the day, I got the phone call to help out here, which I'm always available to help out any friends in need, and Gatorama needed some help getting Mr. Crocodile to the front pond over there. So I planned on going there and staying dry because I knew that Mr. Crocodile was in this pond because we put him here not too long ago. So reason being is we wanted him out of the pit that he was in so we could use it for 2 Nile crocodiles, and on top of that we wanted to get him over to the front pond. So the owners at Gatorama decided it's time. This guy's going in the big pond in the front, which you're going to see at the end of this video. The big pond houses about, I want to say 21 or 22 very large American crocodiles, and Gatorama probably produces more American crocodiles than anybody else in the state, albeit anybody else in the country. I'm pretty sure they're leading numbers as far as production goes with American crocodiles, which is good because it is a protected species. But back to the range, like I was saying before, these guys are found here in Florida, but they're also found in South America. Sometimes they'll dip over to Cuba. There's very low numbers in Jamaica, so these guys do travel long distances. I think the largest population is going to be down in South America by Costa Rica over there. There's actually a bridge that you can go and visit. They call it Crocodile Bridge. You can look down and see a bunch of these big, monstrous, beautiful, gorgeous animals down there. And they're going to be in bigger numbers than we have here in Florida. So these guys aren't going to go, oh my goodness, Ben, always count on your friends to do some weird stuff behind your back. All right, so back to the crocodile here. So we're moving this American crocodile up to the front for more production. We got a bunch of females in the pond. The Gatorama wants to switch it up and get some more bloodline in there, as well as obviously a couple more males. Never hurts. They're female heavy in the front pond. And because there's so little males and so much space, there shouldn't be an issue with any fighting, although we will monitor the situation for days to come once we put him in the big pond to make sure big old Bully, affectionately named Bully for good reason, doesn't go ahead and mess with Mr. Crocodile here, vice versa. Mr. Crocodile doesn't mess with Bully. Now, what we want to do is do this as quickly as possible, and there's a couple reasons for that. Obviously, you can see now I'm fully committed to the water since I've already been basically splashed like I'm at a Shamu show over at SeaWorld. The clothes don't matter anymore. Take what's left out of my pockets, and we're going to get on the back of this crocodile. We've already let him tie himself up. And so far, the catch is going very smooth, and we want it to stay that way for us, but we also want to be quick for the animal as well. What a lot of people don't know is that moving alligators and crocodiles, it's an awesome experience. It's an amazing, rewarding experience. It's also very satisfactory when it's done correctly. Now, obviously, there's dangers for us to do this because that crocodile is a crocodile. And no matter how much time we spend with it, it's always going to be a crocodile. Now, that's not to say you can't have one that's tolerant of human beings, but at the end of the day, you always want to be careful. We never give full trust to the crocodile. And this guy right here, Mr. Crocodile, can do a lot of damage. Now, we rolled him up with the string. So we have a thin line, and we also have an actual lasso that a cowboy would use. It's a lariat. It's the same thing that you would see the cowboys using for the bulls. And those ropes are made a little bit stronger and a little bit more taut. It's harder to spin it around the jaws. So what we did was we top jawed the crocodile, which is basically the capture technique. And what we could do from there is, you know, between Ben, myself, Alan right there, which is the guy that looks professional in the background, any of us basically can move this guy with a considerable amount of safety in the back of our heads. We could top jaw him, pull him, somebody jump on the back, and somebody holds the front of the rope. We can do that. A lot of people do it. I'm getting older. I appreciate my body parts a little bit more, so we do things a little bit differently if we can. You know, if this was a different situation and we had a little bit more room to work, we probably just would have pulled them on land and somebody jumps on the back. So again, somebody's on the front of the rope pulling tight, somebody's on the back of the animal, but you have to trust who you're working with. If who you're working with is a person that doesn't have the proper experience, it's dangerous for all involved, not just the people, but the animal as well. You have to remember, moving these crocodiles, how can I explain this? It's easier with the alligators. The alligators seem to be able to put up with a lot more stress than the crocodiles do. So with a crocodile, we want to move, we want to do it quickly, but we want to do it safely. These animals are incredibly powerful. You're talking about 80% muscle, and what happens is they tire out very quick. The reason being is because they have lactic acid that builds up in that body. So just like when we work out, you have lactic acid that builds up in your muscles. So when you work out one day and you feel sore the next day, that's your lactic acid building up, and your muscles are sore because you've been using them, and that has built up to the point where you're going to have that soreness. So imagine that with 80% muscle, and on a good day, maybe I'm 12%, who knows. But at the end of the day, I'm definitely not as powerful as this crocodile. So they tire out relatively quickly, which is good for us because we want him tired enough to be able to mobily carry him. We got to go over a wall, onto a platform, strap him to that platform, and get him to the front pond. But we also don't want him so tired where this takes, you know, a couple hours to move him from one place to another. It's too much stress on the crocodile, and crocodiles can overexert themselves and stress to the point of death. So we want to be extremely careful, not just for us, but for the animal as well. Now, the whole catch altogether, I think, took us about 10 to 15 minutes to do, and that's from roping him up to actually putting that tape on. Right now, the alligator, I'm going to learn how to speak these days. One of these days, I can't even say a normal phrase. Jeez. Okay. All right. 1, 2, 3. Lift. Lift. All right, so we want to be safe for everybody involved, like I said. It's not just us, it's the crocodile we have to worry about. So we're careful when we pick them up. We got plenty of people to help, and then I have to literally pick this animal up, step on the two sides, and shift him over my body. Now, it's a bad place to be in because even with those jaws taped, that crocodile's skull is it's just bone and a little layer of skin over it. So if he starts to thrash, he could hit Ben in the face, he could hit me in the face, he could literally break your face into pieces, and that crocodile isn't going to feel a thing while we feel every last bit of whatever goes on. So being tired for the crocodile is good for us. And it's good for the crocodile because he's not going to overexert himself while removing him. That's why the towel goes over the face. It calms him down a little bit more. You can't see what's going on around him. He's not going to be trying to swipe people when they walk by, but you still want to watch your shins, you want to watch your knees, you want to watch your face, you want to be in the proper place, and you want to have, like I said, the right people. Now we've shifted him onto this board with wheels, and the great idea that we had, which is good. We want to move these crocodiles like this anyway. We could carry him to the front with a bunch of guys. If he starts thrashing, it becomes an issue. You could toss some guys around. Somebody could get hurt. Somebody could drop the crocodile, and the crocodile could get hurt as well. It's not a big drop down when you're carrying these guys, but remember, a lot of animal, a lot of weight. They're not that high off the ground, and they're not built to fall out of trees or anything like that, so you don't want to rupture anything on the inside. You don't want to drop your crocodile. So we got him strapped to this board. It's basically to be... Okay, pull it together, bud. It's basically going to be like moving a person like they do with the paramedics. They're going to put them on a gurney, get a stretcher, a couple of guys, displaces the weight, makes it a lot easier to carry. This gurney has wheels, so the idea is to get them on the other side of that walkway. We're going to pick them up right here, use all the people you can, save your back. Trust me, after this day, when I went home, my back no longer worked anymore, which is becoming commonplace considering the fact I've done this forever and a day. Kids stay in school because it looks like what we're doing is amazing and fun, and it is, as a matter of fact. It's amazing and it's fun, but it's also very hard on the body. I don't know if you guys have been able to tell, but I'm missing most body parts that I have. And I'm getting older, and the older I get, the less my body works, so we try and do things with more help than we used to, because as a young buck, you want to kind of get everything done yourself. Oh, I think, ready? Oh, snatch. Smoothest part of the whole catch. There we go. Ben trying to throw Mom the keys. Nope, not going to happen. Here you go, Miss Patty. There you go. Nice dainty pass off right there. All right, back to the crocodile. So we're wheeling this guy, which is easy on us. It's a little easier on Ben because he's lower to the ground, obviously. Sorry, Ben, I love you, bud. So he's got his Canadian tuxedo on. He's low to the ground, low center of gravity, pushing this crocodile along. Now you got a lot of butts in your face right now. I don't know the name of every butt, but you got a lot of butts. There you go. It's a beautiful sight to see. We're going to get to the ramp here. We got to pick them up over the ramp. And then, in a minute, let's see what happens here. I'm watching this with you guys at this point. Ooh, Miss Patty coming with the angles. That's what I'm talking about. I think Miss Patty's going to be hired for the filmer. All right, look at this thing go. So we got full view of the crocodile, and then we got some more butts in your face. All right, this is where the wheel broke. So we had a wheel turn sideways and grind to a screeching halt. Was it where the wheel? No. Wheel's still going. Where's it going to break? Where's it going to break? Where's it going to break? I was there. I lived this. I know it happens. And there it is. There's the broken wheel. So we're switching back. Now we're going to carry it. Big old crocodile. Everybody on one side. Makes it a little bit easier. I'm going to take my special hand. Yeah, there you go. Get that crocodile right up. Now we're going to the front pond. It's not an extremely far walk, but it would have been nicer to wheel him along. Oh, look at that beautiful enclosure to the left. Now you guys can visit and see these all for yourself. If you go to Gatorama.com, if that's not the website, I apologize. You can go to Gatorama on Google, search them. They're in Palmdale, and you can go visit Mr. Crocodile all on your own. So you can see the park, you can see everything they got going on there. They have a bunch of different stuff for you to do. So it's really a day trip. You can go out there, spend the whole day, look at a bunch of different wildlife, all different kinds. A big, huge group of crocodiles and a big, huge group of alligators as soon as you walk through those doors, and they have plenty of interactions for you to do. If you want to get face-to-face with a big old alligator, you can do that here at Gatorama. All right, back to the crocodile here. So this is the end goal, the end result. This is exactly what we wanted. A very quick move. The whole video altogether was about 30 minutes. I cut out the parts basically where we were strapping him down and untying him because it takes a little bit of time, not too much, but it's probably not exciting for you guys to watch. So we're going to get that lariat back out of his mouth. Alan had just bought that one. We don't want to cut it, so we're going to get it out of his mouth. Now we're done with Mr. Crocodile, and that is how you move a crocodile.
And we're done.
Good, bud.
Watch it when you flip it in. Good.
Water. Good boy, Mr. Crocodile.
Good job. Look at that.
Is that Milo?
Right there.
Milo, let's go.
Hey, he came back to say hello.
You ready to run?